So I am with amazing Eleanor. I can't believe it's been, I don't even know how many weeks it's been, Eleanor. How many weeks has it been, do you
I
think?
don't know. I don't even know what day of week it is.
But we thought we're having our catch up because we always catch up anyway. So we thought we'd make a video for everyone because we've been doing our kind of well-being videos, albeit there's a big gap with this one. But I know I have actually been very active the last couple of weeks. I'm very proud of myself. So I'm quite happy to do this video today. So checking in with Eleanor, what have you been up to, my love?
Yeah, actually, I should go first because then I can't look really lazy after what you've been doing. So anyway, I think where we last left off, because it's been quite a journey, isn't it? First of all, we started off. I'd say you were running, I was shuffling, and then we were both poorly, so we could do our 5K on that day. Then
Yes.
I got into cycling. Then I got into walking. So I never actually. I was always moving, so we decided we call it movement.
Yes, we
And
did.
And then I started a program which was fitness through dance, not that I'm a dancer or anything like that, but it was just something that I knew if I enjoy it, I'll do it. And since then, I did lose a stone in weight, but I haven't lost any more weight since because of the lockdown and whatnot. It's been quite difficult to do the nutrition side of it. That's my excuse.
Yeah.
But so I'm still doing that. So I still work out most days, or I do something, or I do my walking. So yeah, that's all still the same. But I was thinking about you yesterday because one of the games they gave you on this particular, I signed up for the monthly challenges on this particular fitness course, and one of them yesterday you had to play a game, and it's basically gamifying keeping fit. And so you'd have a pack of cards, shuffle them, and depending what suit you got, what number you picked, the number was the number of repetitions, and the suit, I don't know if it was diamonds, you'd have to do squats. If it was hearts, you had to do bicep curls. I thought, okay, I can do that. That's fine. Unfortunately, Jack, Queen, and King were like, Jack was like 10 burpees, Queen was like 20 press ups, and the King was something ridiculously hard that I know I can't do. So I thought, what's the chance of me getting Jack, Queen, and King? It's not, yeah, I'm going to get them. It's going to be just one or two. The first three, because they haven't been shuffled properly, Jack, Queen, King. And I'm like,
I love that. I like the idea of this game though. This is cool, isn't it? Because
yeah.
I would say most people have a pack of cards in their house.
Mm.
So actually that's quite a clever way of doing it, isn't it? Makes it
Oh,
quite fun.
I think you can even do it online. Just there's there's always an app for everything or a site for everything, and you just draw a card just by pressing your phone. But I
Yeah.
liked it because you didn't know what was coming next. But then that turned out to be why I didn't like it. I honestly, I thought she had us take all the Jack, Queens, and Kings out.
Oh no, you can't cheat, low lady. You can't cheat. So is there still this dancing element going on with this, or is that a separate thing now?
No, yes, there is. This was just a one-off challenge for yesterday, but I really liked it because I thought it's a really good idea to gamify something. Then you get it into a habit, and it's fun. You're more
Yeah,
motivated to do it.
that's great.
Yeah. So no, the challenge you can choose. You sign up for the monthly challenges, and you can choose from it's 3 or 4 different workouts. One of the workouts is the dancey one. Another one is like this American lady who's does kind of, I don't know, what I'd call hardcore down the gym, running about weights, And she's a swimwear fitness model, so you can imagine.
Yeah.
Um, another one is a really nice guy who does kind of plyo and calisthenics, so it looks slow and easy, but it's not. It's really hard. And the other one is, I think it's a mix. I can't quite remember. Maybe there's just 3. But so each day I have a choice. I can go for the dancey one if I'm in the dancey mood, or I can go for the bikini babe one if I want a really hard
I
workout.
love
But
it.
what's really amusing about the whole thing is half the time I'm laughing because I'm listening to what they're saying and I'm putting it into a copywriter's perspective in my head. I am. all the time and laughing. I'm like, that's really good copy. That's really motivational. I'm going to use that. Things like put the hustle in the muscle and things like that. Oh, that's good.
Isn't it funny though how when you're in an industry or a sector, or you do a specific job, you really do tune into it, don't you? And that
Yeah.
never leaves you, does it?
No.
I worked in a venue for like 5 years, a conferencing venue. We had a hotel and a spa and everything else, a restaurant. I can't go to a hotel now without it being this experience where I'm just looking for things, and it's really horrible. But you can't help it. It's just you've been
No.
used to being in that world, haven't you? So
It is off-putting, even
yeah.
when I listen to podcasts, not yours, mind,
Oh,
but some
thank you.
people's podcasts when it's, I'm like, oh, that's so scripted. I can tell even the pause, I'm like, ugh. And I
We,
can't watch, I'm really terrible with films and watching TV shows as well
yeah,
now,
we
because
don't like
it's,
scripts. We don't like scripts. That's a whole
but
new
I can
different
recognise a
conversation.
good one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I can
exactly.
recognise a good one on telly. But yeah, so yeah, of course, sales scripts. Yeah, yeah, I can
Yeah, yeah.
imagine.
So,
So now you've got to blow us away and tell us what you've been up to,
well, the
rather than
thing
me
is,
playing gamifying things and dancing around my room.
yeah, but I like what you're doing, and the thing about what you're doing, there's lots of variety, and I think that really helps you to stay with it, doesn't it? Because it's not going to get repetitive then. But for me, I actually hadn't really been doing much at all. I confess, through the real core lockdown, which, to be honest, I'm still locked down. Really, I'm not really going anywhere. But and if, obviously, anyone watching this back, this is pandemic. Just sort of to clarify, if they're listening in 2 years' time, they might wonder what we're talking about. So in isolation and in the lockdown, I really did get into that routine, Eleanor, where I wasn't moving. I mean, really, I wasn't moving. I was sitting working for hours, then cooking dinner, sitting again, and then going to bed. It was horrific. I would put weight on. I actually bought some scales for the first time in my life because I
No,
have been lucky. I know I've been lucky. I've never had to think about my weight. I've always been sporty. But honestly, I bought scales for the first time in my life because I felt like I'd put weight on. And then a week before last week, literally a week before, a lady who's my client said, I'm doing a challenge from Land's End to John O'Groats. We need to do 874 miles. And I'm getting a team together. Are you in? I said, yes, because it's always about the answer's yes. What's the question with me? You know what I'm like.
yeah.
I then realised that she still really needed to find this team. So, of course, we could have been 6 of us doing it or even 4 of us doing it. Ultimately, in the end, there was 12 of us in the team, which was fantastic. But a few of us couldn't do the same as others could do. So there's always going to be that thing. So basically, I divided it by 10 and I decided that I'd try and do 90 miles across 7 days, which was no mean feat. I wasn't going to be able to walk it because it was too much because I'm a walker. So I got my bike out, Eleanor. I got my bike out, and Sam came with me on his bike for the first 3 days, and then of course left me for the next 4 days to fend for myself. But I was riding 12 miles a day, and I was so proud of myself.
I,
And
that's amazing, because that's so hard to do, especially if you haven't done it for ages. It
I
must have
know.
it must have hurt.
Oh my goodness. Well, we don't even want to go to the pain
No,
barriers of it all.
no.
I mean, bottoms. Well, let's
Yeah.
not talk about bottoms, or even thighs. But
No.
I think the thing for me was I hadn't been on a bike for say probably 4 years. Honestly, it had been that long, and so it was really hard, and the burn was real. But at the end of the week, I'd done 91.9 miles, and I just felt so proud of
So you
myself.
should be. That's absolutely incredible. I can't believe that. That's like mad. I mean, people train for a long time to be able to do that. That's
Yeah,
no, that's incredible. And
yeah.
so, what was the challenge for? Was it for a charity?
Yeah,
Or?
It was for a charity, and it was the client I mentioned. It's a local charity to her called Sobel House, and it's a
Hmm.
hospice.
Hmm.
And I'm actually an ambassador for a hospice in our town
Yeah.
here.
Hmm.
So, of course, I sort of felt a real allegiance to this because
Yeah.
hospices have really struggled with all their
Hmm.
fundraising because of no outdoor events. And,
Yeah.
it's been really hard. We're probably £1 million down for our charity,
Oh gosh.
just in events that we can't
Hmm.
do. But it's amazing how people have created virtual events, which is awesome. And this, of course, was a sort of virtual event where we weren't physically going from Land's End to John O'Groats, but we just did that mileage. So yeah, so that was what it was for, and we raised over £3,000 for the charity.
Wow. You must drop the links below this video for
Yeah,
both the hospices, because
yeah,
it's, yeah, an amazing work that they do.
they
So
are.
that's
Yeah,
brilliant that
I
you
know.
did that. And did you have any breakthroughs, when you were exercising, doing this exercise that you hadn't done for a few years? Apart from now, you're probably obsessed with looking at bicycle seats and thinking, I need a bigger one. Because that's what I did when I first started cycling. I'm like, how? No way am I sitting on that for hours.
Yeah.
Did you have any other kind of breakthroughs or thoughts, or did it help
Yeah.
you process things when you were
Yeah,
cycling?
yeah, I think it did. I mean, one of the things for me was I wasn't really doing anything but staying in and working. I mean, really, I wasn't. And I realized when I was riding and I was out in the fresh air, and it was usually quite early in the morning, I actually realized the freedom of that, the
Yeah.
feeling,
Hmm.
and how good that was for my mental health.
Mm.
Because whilst I haven't dipped into a horrible place, I'm very fortunate. I realised that if I'd have carried on doing what I was doing, I think at some point I would have become quite down, and
Yeah.
maybe even gone into a mild depression, because it was so routine and samey. And that bit of fresh air every morning was really amazing, the difference that made. It's an hour and a quarter probably, first thing in the morning. It's getting your bum out of bed. That's the biggest hurdle. And then the feeling it gives you for the rest of the day, energy
Yeah, on a
wise,
high. Yeah. Hmm.
it's incredible. I mean, endorphins galore, it really
Hmm.
did release the
And
endorphins.
building up your immune system with vitamin D is so important. This is the thing I don't understand. Well, I don't understand, but that's annoyed me the most. But I won't go into. We won't. Obviously, we're not talking about lockdown. But the thing that annoyed me most from a health point of view was that you couldn't go outside, you couldn't get fresh air, you weren't building up your immune system, you weren't getting vitamin D. I mean, that you know that they are the doctors, laughter, sunshine.
Yeah,
That is medicine.
yeah,
So I'm being with
absolutely.
people, obviously, but
Yeah,
so it's I have, and I do feel that certain people I've spoken to over this time, I can feel a difference in their energy.
mm,
They're not thinking clearly, they're not thinking straight. I'm
yeah,
lucky, I've got a fairly big garden, I can go outside, um, and other people haven't, and
yeah.
that must be really, really difficult. I can't imagine if I couldn't be able to do that. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I
yeah.
feel the same. But I think the other thing that's come out of it is we had a WhatsApp group all
Mhm.
last week. So we were always posting how much mileage we'd done, and we were massively congratulating ourselves, and each other. And we bonded as a group of women who never really, hardly knew each other. Some of us had never met. And then on Sunday night, we had a Zoom call with a little bit of champagne or, Prosecco or bubbly to say to each other, how amazing are we? And so that element of it as
Yeah, yeah.
well was really great. And we've actually decided to keep the WhatsApp group
Hmm.
and just try to keep posting what we do so that we're encouraged to keep moving. So
Mm.
this week I've done a 5 mile bike ride. I did 3.6 mile walk this morning. I've got a HIIT session tomorrow. Don't ask me, because I'm told that this is all about short, fast
Yeah.
exercise. And then on Sunday I'm walking again. So I'm still moving.
Right, that's it. I've got to do something now.
Challenge on,
Rather than
Eleanor.
my silly card games.
So yeah, so we'll see, and we'll see if I've lost any weight next week. You never know, I might have lost a little bit of that weight with any luck. So
Well, I guess I have now got even more of an incentive to walk. Not that I did need an incentive anyway, but I have to now, is because, as you know, I've got a new dog, a new rescue dog, and he's 1 year old. He likes his walks,
Oh,
and he at the moment he's on a harness, and it's like a workout. It's like, oh my god, because I've had an older dog for a long time, and I forgot with my older dog from 10 to 15, she'd really slowed down, and you forget what they were like when they were little, how much
yeah.
energy they have. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's so wonderful that you've got another dog. I'm so thrilled. I really am because I knew how close you were to your Ellie, and I just think, isn't it amazing that he's kind of found you, hasn't he, this dog?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I was adamant. No, no more dogs. 2 years, I'm going travelling. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And then lockdown came. So it's
Yeah,
fate, isn't it? Really. But
yeah,
apparently, a lot of people have been adopting animals and dogs and that during the lockdown, which I think is fantastic. I just hope that they keep up with the good work and don't,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
take them back, if you know what I mean, or issues. But
Is he any better now around the house? And because he was quite nervous when he arrived.
he's still quite flighty, but he's perfect in the house. Perfectly behaved
Yeah,
for a puppy.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't say anything wrong about him, obviously.
Obviously not.
Obviously.
He's the blue-eyed boy, as it
He
were,
is,
isn't he?
yeah,
Yeah,
he's a mummy's
yeah.
boy. He is definitely.
Oh, well, it's so lovely to catch up again and to obviously keep this going. Whilst we've had a few gaps, I know I want to keep doing this because I think anyone who does watch it, I'm absolutely sure it inspires them to actually just go out and do something and keep moving.
Well, I think this is the thing. We're not normal, are we? We're extraordinary,
We
but we are
are.
just normal people. And to be honest, that's one thing that's always put me off, I guess, because I see, you see fitness models and all this doing it, and I think, well, that's not me. I'm never going to be like that. And then you find another reason for doing it, all the other benefits that come with it that
Yeah,
are, like mindset, as you say, and
yeah,
processing, creativity, meeting up with others like you have. So there's lots of different benefits that come with it, all
yeah.
baked into the cake sort of thing.
So we will be back because we'll do this hopefully in a couple of weeks as
Yes.
opposed to a couple of months, and we'll just keep going and
Yeah.
hopefully keep encouraging people to keep moving.
Yes, exactly. Keep moving.
Lovely to see you, my darling.
And you.
See you
Bye.
again soon. Bye.
Bye.